resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Heard live on News Talk 99.5 WRNO and the iHeartRadio app. Here are your hosts, Brian Held and D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D. Squared with
Brian Held. Hey, Dave, how's it going, man?
I'm super. I'm just getting back from vacation, and I'm breaking everything in this damn control room.
Yes.
I'm super. Thanks for asking.
Are you well rested from your vacation?
Hell no. I need a vacation from my vacation. I went to Disney. I went to Universal and Legoland and the Universal Islands of Adventure and Halloween Horror Nights.
Wow, that's a whole lot, man.
Yeah, I pulled a 15-hour day on the Friday, the last day of our vacation, and so now I'm gonna need some sleep.
Yes, well, and since you're so disheveled from being on vacation all week, the show's a bit disheveled today. We're gonna change things up. So right out of the gate, we have a great interview with author Vic James. She is the author of Bright Ruin. It's book 3 in the Dark Gifts series. And I got to talk to her this morning, so here it is.
Have we had a chance to tally all the New York Times best-selling authors we've had on the show?
No,
and can we count her like 4 times?
3. This is her third, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, well, here she is.
This is Brian Held with the Week in Geek radio show on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. And I'm joined by a very special guest today. I have author Vic James on the line. How are you?
Hi, hello there from a cold and autumnal London.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we're still pretty hot over here, so I'm kind of jealous.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I've got my hot water bottle and I'm ready to chat.
Wonderful. So you are the author of the Dark Gifts series. Your third book, Bright Ruin, is out on October 9th of 2018. We got an advance copy, but I wanted to mention that we talked to you about your first book, Gilded Cage, all the way back February 9th of 2017, and then your second book, Tarnished City, on February 4th of 2018. So can you kind of catch me up, like where are we at right now in this book series?
Yes, of course. So it's set in an alternate contemporary Britain, which is ruled by magic-using aristocrats. In every other respect, it looks pretty much like the UK today, with the exception that everyone who doesn't have magic and isn't an aristocrat has to spend 10 years of their life sort of in service to the state. You're sent to a sort of a grim work town where you'll be sort of laboring away. And if that sounds pretty far-fetched, well, just ask yourself if you paid off your mortgage yet, or if you paid off your student debt, and in fact, are you right now sort of doing your labor for the state? So that's the situation in Britain when book 1 opens. Change is afoot. There are many people who believe that this is not right, this is not fair. But of course, what I wanted to explore is when you have a 1% whose ability, whose power, because these folks, they don't just have magic. Of course, they also have political power. They also have superb wealth and status and luxury. So they control every form of power. So, of course, getting rid of them or changing the system is not going to be easy. And really in book 2, my idealistic characters kind of come to that realization. It was really interesting for me seeing reader response to book 2 and people sort of saying, wow, I'm kind of anxious now. How are they going to pull off the revolution? And obviously I've sort of been sitting at home kind of rubbing my hands with glee and going, ha, 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 because of course, history tells us not every revolution succeeds.
Right.
So that's really what book 3 is about. Does it succeed? If not, why not? Or if so, how so?
Well, and your book series focuses on a commoner family, the Hadley family, who are entering their years of servitude at the very beginning. And when we start book 3, man, they're really scattered to the wind. You are just putting the screws to this poor family. Tell me about their plight.
Yes. I mean, the one thing that I sort of never wanted to do is just sort of make life hard for my characters for no reason. I mean, I remember at one Comic-Con, I met the wonderful Robin Hobb, a fantasy writer I admire so much. And, she's a sort of big believer in this thing that character suffering should never be gratuitous, and it has to arise from the choices that characters have made. And that was always sort of super important for me with this family in particular, because we follow kind of the three children of the family. This isn't a kid's book, but this group of characters are teenagers. There's sort of Abby, who's 18, Luke, who is sort of 16, 17, and their little sister Daisy, who's 10. And at the beginning of book one, it's not a spoiler to say this, the whole family is split up. And then the choices that each of those three make put them in sort of ever more kind of polarized situations. And some of them, Luke, in a way, the boy in the middle, has remained quite consistent throughout. He'd just discovered sort of aspects of himself that he didn't know were there, but which the challenges that he's gone through have kind of brought out in him. So in Luke's case, it's a question of sort of self-discovery, like an inner strength that he'd never had to use before. The case of his elder sister, Abby, it was the one that I sort of found most interesting. And I sort of took a little bit of a risk in book one by making her, she's very bright, but she's quite sort of sucked into the celebrity and the glamour of this elite. And it's only her experiences in book one that sort of strip away some of her sort of delusions about what these people are like and what they can do. So for her, it's a case of really radically sort of overhauling. She has the most sort of dramatic kind of arc of self-growth, if you like. She has to face up to the fact that everything she thought is wrong. And then we have Daisy, who's sort of age 10. And I really wanted the challenge of writing someone who is a child, has a childlike take on the world, and yet actually those qualities sometimes can kind of just sort of cut through. They can cut through the politics. They can cut through, sort of adult preconceptions. They can cut through the things that a lot of us do, which is just to overthink. So Daisy, the youngest one, is she's very intuitive. She sees things in characters. One character who surprises a lot of people at the end of book two. Daisy had that person pegged from the beginning. So I really sort of wanted to play with, kind of different types of character growth, because to me that was sort of super realistic, very important to reflect that. Sometimes it takes us a while to unlearn our own prejudices, our own preconceptions, or to realize just how kind of partial our view of the world is. And to see characters sort of engaging in that process of trying to understand as their worldview widens out.
Right. And I think it's amazing that we get to see little Daisy as this steadfast rock that the family kind of comes back to and gets just a refocusing on things. So if I could shift gears a little bit, I mentioned this to you earlier. When I read books nowadays, I read it in the fashion of, can this be some sort of streaming series or not? And apparently there are TV rights being talked about on your Dark Gifts series. Can you dig into that a little?
Yes, yeah. I mean, they have been sold, and they're being worked on they've been sold to one of the big studios. I sadly can't say which. I'm just all bursting to shout about this. But yes, it's been bought by one of the studios specifically for streaming television, and they have placed it with a production company that has a kind of an amazing track record. I mean, I'm just sort of insanely excited about this. And it's interesting that you say that, because obviously my background is in television. A lot of people have come to me and have said, wow, when I was reading this, I was seeing it. And then they sort of say, is that because you work in telly? And I'm like, well, no, I make sort of 60-minute documentaries. I don't make that sort of television, but I'm a really passionate consumer of it. I love, who doesn't love a good sort of, Netflix or Amazon kind of box set binge. And yes, for me, obviously some of that has sort of translated into the way I write. I mean, certainly I see it. I'm quite a visual writer, and obviously for these books, they've been written, they're all set in the UK, so they're all set in places that I know very well, that they have a real world analog.
So we are getting kind of close to a break. One last thing I wanted to touch on is that now that the Dark Gifts series is ending, you're working on a new book series. Your new book, Sanctuary, is going to be out March 2019. Can you kind of give me a little tease as to what to expect next year?
Yes, so it's actually coming out a little bit later. We pushed it back to August because the sort of the response it's been getting as my publishers in the UK have been pushing it out to sort of potential publishers overseas is just like, wow, we love this book. So just to say that it's not March, it's looks set for August. Sanctuary is set in America.
Wow.
I jumped on for this. It has certain elements like the Dark Gifts books in that it is a contemporary America, but it is an alternate contemporary America. So in this world, witchcraft is a thing, but it's a mundane thing. It's an everyday sort of thing. So, if you've got a headache, you might go to the doctor or you might go to the witch. So it's just another sort of option that people have. It's another little store on Main Street that you can go to. So that's the world of witchcraft in this America, which otherwise looks pretty much as you'll all recognize. It's a little bit of a sort of a murder mystery. It's a crime thriller. It's taken all of that sort of pacey, plotty stuff that I enjoyed in Dark Gifts, and it's really ramped it up. The chapters are short. They move fast. It's kind of a police procedural. I mean, I've had such a blast writing it because the inciting incident is it's set in a small town in Connecticut. That is Sanctuary. It's got its name from how efficiently it cleared out the witches back in old Salem times. And anyway, the folk in Sanctuary like to think they're a bit more enlightened these days. But when a sort of a popular star athlete kind of dies at a end of year school party, dies in suspicious circumstances, and the girlfriend he's recently broken up with is the daughter of the local witch. So it spirals pretty rapidly. The folks of Sanctuary, sort of find that they're maybe not quite as okay with witches as they thought they were.
Wow. Well, you've got me super excited now. I can't wait for August of 2019 now.
Marvelous.
Yes. Well, all right. Well, we do need to get to a break. If you wouldn't mind, if you could tell folks out there how to find you out there at social media and on the net and how they can keep up with all the great books that you're writing.
Well, thank you so much. I'm quite chatty on Twitter, where my handle is @Dr. Dr. Victoria James, and I am on the same handle on Instagram, where I mainly get very enthusiastic about my own books and others. You could also find me on Facebook, where I'm Vic James, author.
Fantastic. Well, Vic, thank you so much for taking the time to come back on the show. We love having you on, and we can't wait to see more from you.
You know what? I would write books just to get invited back each year to talk to you.
Oh, man, that's so incredible. Thank you so much. Hey, gang, one of the best things about Vic James is that she's so sweet. I could talk to her for hours. She's so wonderful to give her time to us on the show. And as such, her full interview ran well over 20 minutes in length, so we're going to go ahead and host that as its own special podcast that you can find at all the locations we host our podcast, like iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, and at WRNO.com. So make sure you check out the full interview for Vic James, which includes great insights and inspirations for her newest book, Bright Ruin, on sale October 9th. All right, gang, stay tuned. After these short commercial messages, we'll come back and get into top nerd news. You're listening to Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. Come out to the St. Tammany Collectors Con October 20th at the Clarion in Covington. Toys, comic books, artists, games, and more. Meet Marvel and DC comic artist Derek Donovan. Participate in the costume contest for kids and adults, and see over 13,000 square feet of toys and comics. All-day entertainment for only $3 at the St. Tammany Collectors Con, October 20th at the Clarion in Covington. Find out more information at facebook.com/St. Tammany Collectors Con. Join us. You'll be glad you did.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
BarCon at the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill in Gretna is happening on Saturday, October 20th, starting at 11:30 a.m. for all ages. General admission is only $5 and VIP passes are available for $10. BarCon will have vendors, artists, panels, a cosplay contest, gaming competitions, and live entertainment. Closing out BarCon that night will be a breathtaking fire show by Nanette Blake and the anime music stylings of Suzaku 7. Find out more information on BarCon at badwolfbar.com.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Everyone listen! No one quits! This is Casper Van Dien, Johnny Rico from Starship Troopers, and you're listening to the Week in Geek Radio Show! Come on, you apes! You want to live forever? Kill 'em all! You know what to do! Service guarantees citizenship!
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek. I'm D Squared along with
Brian Held.
Now, Brian, as always, we want to set up the show. We forgot to do that because this whole vacation thing has me a little wonky. So obviously, we didn't start with Top Nerd News.
Right.
We started with Vic James. But now we're going to do Top Nerd News. But we also have another great guest for people today.
Absolutely. So next weekend, we're going to be out at Gulf Coast Fan Fest. That's at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum in Biloxi. That's Saturday and Sunday, the 13th and 14th. And they sent us a great guest, Josh Mikel, who is from The Walking Dead, Black Lightning, Ant-Man and the Wasp, all kind of good stuff. So we're going to talk to him in the third segment.
Yeah, and tonight is actually the season premiere of The Walking Dead as well.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
The final episodes of Rick Grimes.
Yes, and then we'll close it all out with Skungy and his pick of the week.
But first... And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, Brian, what's topping us off tonight?
Well, you mentioned a premiere, and another premiere happened earlier today with the start of the 11th season of Doctor Who that happened at 12:45 p.m.
That's weird.
It is, but it's simulcast with England, so that's why we're kind of getting at a strange time.
What, can I watch it later tonight?
Absolutely. They're rebroadcasting it, actually, I think right now.
Like America time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That's the only time I think about.
But I went over and hung out with the crew to Who over at the Crown and Anchor earlier today, and I got to see it, and oh my God. Let me tell you what, Jodie Whittaker just nailed it as the Doctor as far as I'm concerned.
Did she wear the hoodie the whole time?
No, she did not.
Man, well, that sucks. Now I don't want to watch it.
In fact, she spent the majority of this first episode in Capaldi's clothes, right? All tattered and stuff. Yeah, because, I mean, as the Doctor is wont to do, lands right in the middle of the action and has no time to,
do a costume change.
Right, exactly. So
wait, everybody stop! I got to put on my new uniform.
Right. But no, very, very cool stuff. If this will be the rest of the season, I'm ecstatic.
Okay, well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. I mean, we'll see. I mean, look, I think she'll probably do pretty well. The writing for the last bit of Capaldi just sucked.
It did.
I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah.
So my excitement level was not all the way up there for this new one. And it's not because of the actors or anything. It's the writing turned me off for a while.
Yeah, and I think that the writing for this episode was good. There was a little bit of preachiness, just a hair, like a minute.
Let me tell you about preachiness, Brian. All right. So, Venom. You went to go see Venom. How was that? Oh, wow. I have like a 31% Rotten Tomatoes score. So
I think that the critics were exceptionally harsh with this movie. Okay. All right. But I can't completely disagree with their assessment. What I really think is that it was sped up. Like, they're trying to cram way too much information in a very short period of time.
All right.
And so Tom Hardy, as his character, like, skips through is it Eddie Brock, right? Yeah, skips through stuff very quickly, and so he's going through the whole job thing and losing his job and loses his girlfriend, and it's like bang, 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 and you're like, okay. Now,
so he was looking for love with a symbiote. Or symbiote.
Yes.
Well, the hell they called it.
Once the symbiote shows itself and he starts acting crazy, as it were, I mean, he nailed that. He did a really great job. Okay. Yeah. I mean, there's some laughs and chuckles in there, but kind of overall, if I'm looking at the big thing, I'm kind of, I could have waited until streaming for this.
Wow. That's not high praise at all.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I think that the origin explanation for the symbiotes is good. It's better than what we got in Secret Wars when you originally got the Spider-Man's black suit. That's where the origin. Right. And it's like, he just happened to find it in a box on the Beyonders planet and whatever.
Right.
But there's certain issues that I had with the symbiote plotline as well. It just kind of felt like cheesy, a little Mary Sue kind of.
Really?
Yeah. So, like I said, it was a nifty movie. It was cool. I was actually more intrigued by the trailers that were released in the front end, right? Because there was a bunch of new trailers that came out, like the Captain Marvel. We got the Into the Spider-Verse. There were, just expanded trailers of additional footage that we hadn't seen previously. Right. Glass was another one, but there are two scenes. There's one mid-credits. There's one end credits.
Okay.
The mid-credit scene is important. And I think that it sets up, it absolutely sets up a sequel.
Okay.
Right? And I'm not going to spoil anything.
Are we ever going to see something like the Sinister Six pop up? Maybe?
Potentially,
okay.
Yeah. But, and then the end credit scene is really a snippet from that Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse that's coming out in December.
I thought that was a comic. I thought it was a cartoon movie.
It is. It's an animated flick.
So how are they going to put a real person movie and then make a cartoon movie and make them connect?
It's just like here's a little teaser, like 3-minute clip that you're going to see from the movie is kind of how I took it. So if you want to skip out after the mid-credit scene, don't feel bad. You're not missing much. You'll see it in December.
That's weird.
It was a little odd.
I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah, but it's Sony. It's not Marvel. So
well, all right, fair enough. But I think I'm going to have to keep asking this question out loud. It's just like, when are we going to hit comic book movie fatigue? And I'm sort of serious, but I'm kind of not, because I'm enjoying a lot of the stuff that we're getting because it's been overdue for decades. We finally have the ability to make these movies. But it seems like they keep trying to crank them out, and sometimes we're losing a lot of, I don't know, the substance and storylines because they want to crank these out and make them big tentpole, big budget dollar films, and some of them just are kind of, they're there. They just exist. It's like, here, we made something. We don't really care if you like it. Just give us that $8 to come see it.
Yeah, so Venom is projected to make $80 million this weekend.
Yeah, and it's the like the second best or one of the best performing October movies.
Yes,
so I mean, good for them.
But it does feel like a pre-Iron Man sort of superhero film. if that kind of
that
couches
makes
it.
Wow. Okay, but now I don't want to see it.
I mean, look, I'm sure DJ. Look, it's trending very well with young men.
Yes, the teenagers have literally lost their minds. They're loving them some Venom. I mean, I'm sure everybody's screaming for Carnage now too. But while I was in Disney and Universal over the weekend, Captain America Chris Evans tweeted out that he's hanging up his shield. They finished wrapping for Avengers 4, and he's done.
He is done.
That makes me sad.
It does. It makes me sad
He's
as well.
the best Captain America ever, hands down.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who's going to pick up the shield.
All right, what's next?
You wanted to talk about Telltale Games?
Yeah, Skybound saved it for now. They're going to at least wrap up that series. I mean, it's a fun little game. I played the first 2, so I mean, I'm not overly invested in the series, but I still think for the employees are the ones that really got shafted. I mean, they're all owed something like 60 days worth of
pay and benefits.
Yes, and with no way to pay them or compensate them. And this Skybound picking up was also Robert Kirkman, who owns Skybound Entertainment. So it's going back into the creator of The Walking Dead's hands to wrap up the story. So, we'll get a nice bow on that story, but also there's a chance that the proceeds by finishing the game will actually pay these people who got shafted.
Potentially, yeah. And hopefully it'll give them enough time if they bring those guys back to finish up the game for them to kind of find another job in the interim.
Yeah, right. So now, maybe Disney is hiring people. The Mandalorian, the first look at the Mando armor came out.
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, it looks sort of cool-ish. It's kind of plain Jane. It's just like brown and like some silver stuff. It's just kind of, it's there. But I do like that it's going to be a serial, that it's going to be a TV show or streaming TV series, whatever you want to call it nowadays.
One of the things that I really liked about Rogue One is the fact that you have all of these characters. They're not known to us, and in the end, they were kind of just, they didn't matter, right? Everybody died. And the only Jedi that you do see is, of course, the Sith. You see Vader briefly. And I'm hoping that this series will give us things outside of the normal Star Wars that we haven't seen yet.
That would be super.
Yes.
Because, it's going to be taking place after Return of the Jedi, so the fall of the Empire and before the First Order cranks up. So what you said, there's like it's a 30-year gap.
Yes.
So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff they can do in there that I'm excited about. I think everybody's enthusiasm is probably a bit tempered after the Solo movie. It was just, they threw in the Easter egg of, here's Darth Maul, who later we all know gets chopped in half.
Yeah.
Yay.
Who cares?
Exactly. This one, maybe they can flesh out that 30-year period a little bit more. Maybe we'll get to find out some new characters, or I think some of the best part about it's Legends is what it's called now, because all these old books are no longer canon.
Correct.
So it's like the Legends or whatever.
Yes.
Some of the best books and stories were the stuff that took the ancillary characters and made something out of them, like the twin sisters that were in the cantina scene in Star Wars: A New Hope.
Yeah.
Those two girls, apparently they were like arms dealers.
Okay.
And there's all sorts of great little stories of just people who maybe popped up on the screen for a second, or maybe somebody who was friends with somebody who was a main character up on the screen, and they fleshed that out, and you got to see the wider world of Star Wars, which is what I fell in love with. Not just, hey, yay, stormtroopers in space. There was so much more to the world. It was a giant galaxy. And when we were outside before the show, I'm still upset at Lucas for, making the Empire last only like 9-10 years. I got the damn tattoo, Brian.
I know.
It's a 10-year Empire. That pains me. It should have been a century spanning galactic empire.
Like I said, right? The new canon, you've got to go and read all the novels.
I already read all the old novels. Why would I want to read the new crap?
Because the old novels don't count anymore, Dave. So, because I know that in the beginning of the first novel that takes place after Return of the Jedi, the opening scene is people, partying on Coruscant
Is
and
that
tearing
Claudia
down.
Gray?
No, it wasn't actually.
Okay.
But tearing down statues, and then here comes the fuzz. The stormtroopers rolling out
because shooting everybody.
Right, because just because the emperor died doesn't mean the empire disappeared.
Right.
So there's many years of that. It may not just be the 10-year span that you're thinking of. So
yeah, but I mean, once the emperor is dead, it becomes just a galactic civil war of the empire.
All right. Well,
I don't know. All right. What's next?
You wanted to talk about CBS screwing
suck.
things up.
They suck. They can't get anything right.
No,
they
can't.
just can't. Stage 9 was the name of the group.
Yeah, so this group, Stage 9, created a virtual, non-commercial recreation of the USS Enterprise that people could interact with and use, I guess, virtual reality to be on the bridge. I mean, how cool is that?
Right.
Right. And then they got a cease and desist from CBS lawyers saying you got to shut it down.
What?
And the thing is that these guys came in and they're like, well, hold on. CBS put out fan guidelines.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And we pretty much made sure that we were within those guidelines.
Correct.
So tell us where we messed up and we'll correct it.
And then crickets, right?
Well, the lawyer went on vacation. Right?
Right.
And then they tried to get somebody else and didn't hear anything. And finally, the lawyer gets back to him and said, no deal, take it down or you're getting, sued.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we don't know what we did. And the worst part is there was a quote
the
in
worst
here.
part is that it's all after the Axonar issues where
Right.
The fans want to be involved in this universe. They want to help create. They want to be involved in it, but yet every time they get smashed by CBS.
And at one point, CBS Vice President for Product Development, John Van Critters, in 2016, acknowledged the debt that Star Trek owes its fans, and he quoted, they're not going to hear from us, they're not going to get a phone call, they're not going to get an email, they're not going to get anything that's going to ruin their day one way or another and make them feel bad like they've done something wrong, and yet Stage 9 has apparently done something wrong.
Exactly.
Yes.
I don't know. It makes me so angry that they can't get it right. I mean, they mess everything up, and then they're going to go attack the fans, too.
Yeah.
And it seems like the fans have done a better job than CBS.
All right.
I know. We got to take a break.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we have another great guest coming up.
We do, absolutely. So when we get back from these short commercial messages, our guest, Josh Mikel from The Walking Dead, will be on talking about his appearance at Gulf Coast Fan Fest. Stay tuned. You're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO. BarCon at the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill in Gretna is happening on Saturday, October 20th, starting at 11:30 a.m. for all ages. General admission is only $5 and VIP passes are available for $10. BarCon will have vendors, artists, panels, a cosplay contest, gaming competitions, and live entertainment. Closing out BarCon that night will be a breathtaking fire show by Nanette Blake and the anime music stylings of Suzaku 7. Find out more information on BarCon at badwolfbar.com.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Signworks can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Signworks also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Signworks on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Bell Chase Highway today.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
You've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to twigradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to twigradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's twigradio.com.
Come out to the St. Tammany Collectors Con October 20th at the Clarion in Covington. Toys, comic books, artists, games, and more. Meet Marvel and DC comic artist Derek Donovan. Participate in the costume contest for kids and adults. And see over 13,000 square feet of toys and comics. All-day entertainment for only $3 at the St. Tammany Collectors Con October 20th at the Clarion in Covington. Find out more information at facebook.com/St. Tammany Collectors Con. Join us. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, this is Jason Douglas. Actually, this is Beerus the Destroyer, and you're listening to The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
This is Brian Held with the Week in Geek Radio Show on News Talk 99.5 WRNO, and I am joined by actor Josh Mikel. How are you, sir?
Excellent, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure, man. So, of course, a lot of folks would know you out there as Jared from The Walking Dead and Steve Connors in Black Lightning. Man, how long have you been acting?
I've been acting since high school, actually. I had a teacher that kind of saw something in me and, got me into it. And I did Gollum in The Hobbit and fell in love with it and then stuck with it. So I've been acting professionally in Atlanta for 8 years now.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Now, it's funny you mentioned you started off with Gollum. You have a propensity for playing villains, right?
Yeah. I think it's just the look. I look like I do meth or something. I don't know. I got long, greasy hair and just a look that people love to hate, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you kind of been typecast in that? Is that a lot of the roles you get?
I do. I get a lot of villains, a lot of drug dealers, and criminals and pizza delivery guys. Lots of that stuff.
All right. No, that's fair. So, I mean, how was it on The Walking Dead? I mean, that series has been running, 8 seasons now? And I know that series that run that long kind of have that sort of family atmosphere. I mean, is that what you kind of walked into with that cast and crew?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's such a well-oiled machine at this point. And when I got on in season 7, it's just an amazing thing to experience because you have everyone in their department kind of functioning at the height of their ability. And so there's no real loose chains along the way. It's a really well-oiled machine, and everybody is entirely lovely. I think the conditions of that show create an atmosphere in which you either like it or you don't, and people get the heck out of there if they don't. So a lot of folks have been on there for a good long while, and it's just it was a gift to be on because I'm from Georgia, and I had long wanted to be on the show. I've been auditioning since season 3, so I lucked out.
No, yeah, definitely. And I know, you had some extensive scenes. You got to work with a number of the cast members. What do you think about Rick leaving the show?
I've had a couple of people come up to me at cons asking that very thing and kind of being upset that he's leaving. And my response is always, listen, he's done a zombie show for 9 years, and he's an actor. He got into this because he loves kind of playing. He loves it for the same reason we do, is experiencing other people's life in other people's shoes. And you can only go so far with a certain character, and I think for him to give 9 years of his life to this thing is an amazing contribution to the craft and the people that love the show. But at a certain point, he's got to spend time with his family. That he's from the UK, he's got to get over there, and there's no one better. There's no better actor out there, kinder, more lovely person than Andy Lincoln. So for me, it's like, just enjoy your time away, and congratulations on 9 seasons of excellence, and
Yeah.
it's an amazing thing.
No, that's fair. That's fair. So let's shift gears a little bit. I mentioned earlier you were on Black Lightning. You also were in Ant-Man and the Wasp for a little bit. How is working on superhero stuff different from other things you've done? Is there any extra challenges in doing that kind of genre film?
Yeah, I mean, certainly there, in Ant-Man and the Wasp in particular, there's stuff happening that they're compositing later, right? So in the particular scene that I'm in, which got sliced down a considerable amount, unfortunately, I'm one of Walt Goggins' goons, and we're shooting at the Wasp, and so you have a director shouting at you, being like, "All right, so the Wasp is up on the ceiling, and it's very small. All right, and now the Wasp is now back to full size, and she punches this guy and then shrinks again, and now she's over here, and so there's a lot left to the imagination when you're on set, and then you see the film come together, and you're like, oh, that's what was happening."
Interesting. So there was nobody standing in for Evangeline Lilly?
I mean, she was there, of course, but when she's shrinking and flying and all, going all over the room and throwing things and launching other goons into sculptures and all the stuff that happens in this particular scene, you had to kind of piece that together the whole time, imagining what's happening, not which it's your job. You're an actor,
right?
So do it, right? Yeah.
No, that's cool. Now, you are a multi-talented individual. You do so much stuff. I was researching before this interview, and one of the things I wanted to ask you about is you're a playwright.
Yeah.
And you have a large body of work out there. Tell me about that process. How'd you get into it?
Well, I originally went to school for theater and creative writing, so it was just kind of the ideal, meeting point for those two things. And I had a teacher at school in Florida State, this Tony-winning playwright, Mark Medoff, who wrote Children of a Lesser God, if people are familiar with that. But he kind of got me into it. I had always wanted to write, and it was just kind of a happy marriage of my interests. So I started writing theater for young audiences stuff. I got fortunate enough to get one of the pieces published, and that led to 5 more pieces getting published, and now they get performed at middle schools and community theaters around the states here.
Wow.
And abroad occasionally. Yeah, it's a nice thing.
And I mean, have you also, so like you've written these plays, but do you also get to act them out? Do you also get to do stage work?
No, I don't. I've never been in anything I've written. It's theater for young audiences stuff. So either it's a lot of the needs for, like, say, middle school is, giving a large number of kids a small amount of material,
Okay.
So you're trying to cater to a class of 30 and give them enough lines that they can memorize in a couple of weeks, so
Yeah.
it's not overburdening anybody. And then I also do versions of those same scripts that are for maybe troops that would do it with a smaller cast and take it to schools, but adult actors.
Okay. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, something else that you do too, you're a drummer for an indie rock band called Look Mexico. How's that going? Are y'all still together and playing music?
Yeah, we are. Thanks for asking. Man, Brian, you did your research. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we toured pretty seriously for about 10 years, but things, people had kids and we got into our various careers and got families. And so now it's scaled back considerably, but we actually have 2 shows coming up on the 27th and 28th. We'll be playing Atlanta and then Gainesville, Florida. We're playing Atlanta kind of around Walker Stalker Convention, so hopefully some of those folks will come over and see the band, and then we're playing a big festival called The Fest in Gainesville, Florida, which always happens the weekend of the Florida-Georgia game because everybody leaves town, so they have this big punk rock festival down there.
No, that's nice. You're going to have to bring that down to New Orleans, right? Bring the
I
whole
would love
band. I mean, we got so many music festivals going on. It'd be cool to see you here.
We played through a couple of times, maybe 2006, 2007, but it was all, house shows. We never played any venues in New Orleans.
All right. No, that's fair. So one of the big reasons that we brought you on tonight, you are going to have an opportunity to interact with fans on October 13th and 14th at Gulf Coast Fan Fest in Biloxi, right?
That's right.
Are you doing anything special for this event? Or are you just going to be there hanging out, writing, signing autographs and stuff?
We normally have a Q&A, so folks who are interested. I think one of the big things about these conventions, folks don't realize, like, you don't have to pay to approach us. Like, you can come up and ask questions, and if you have any questions of my time on The Walking Dead or anything that I've been involved in, or anybody at the tables, we're there for you to talk to. And then, if you want to purchase an autograph, that's something we do. And then I have a little print that I've been doing at my table. So for anybody that purchases a picture or a autograph, I drew something that it's just kind of a thank you to any EMTs and active military and HVAC service techs and SLPs, nurses, first responders. With any purchase, I have this kind of signed, numbered print that I've been handing out.
Wow, that's really
something.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, those people do need to get all the love that we can give them. And, thank you so much for mentioning. You're absolutely right. I think a lot of people get intimidated at these events, and they're like, oh, I have to pay to go talk to that person. And y'all are just hanging out. Y'all ready to chat, right?
Right. Yeah. Part of your admission is paying to get us there. So, we're free to talk to. It's just the stuff you take away from the table. That's what people pay for. And that's, you can come shoot the breeze.
Yeah.
And we get asked all sorts of stuff. So if you just want to come chat about what you have for breakfast, like if you see people kind of just twiddling their thumbs at their booth, then by all means come up, say hello. We love it. We're there for that very reason. There's nothing worse than knowing that there's folks walking by that want to talk, or hearing later that I wish I would have come up. It is. I understand it's a nervous thing.
Yeah.
Please do come up, say what's up.
Absolutely. Well, sir, you are such a multi-talented individual, and I'm sure you're busy as heck. You're doing so much stuff. How do folks out there keep up with all the great things that you're doing, like social media, all that?
You can follow me on Twitter. It's at Joshua Mikel. I'm on Instagram if you prefer the less political me on Instagram. I'm also on I have an actor page on Facebook. You can follow, and then Look Mexico also has a Twitter and Facebook. You can keep up with our stuff there. And then for all my convention appearances, you can follow ZSC Entertainment. You can check out and everyone that's involved with ZSC's convention appearances.
No, that's fantastic. All right, well, we do unfortunately have to stop for that commercial break. So
you've waited for it, and now it's here. Get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt and help support our show. These 100% cotton black t-shirts with the Week in Geek Radio Show logo are going fast. So don't wait. Go to TWIGradio.com and order your shirt now. Just go to TWIGradio.com and get your very own Week in Geek Radio Show t-shirt. $15 up to XL, $17 for 2X and 3X. That's TWIGradio.com.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as My Enemy's Tears, Goth Librarian, Cyberpunk, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
Black Tie Tans, the premier mobile spray tanning professionals of New Orleans. Black Tie Tans will come to you and give you a natural glistening glow on the go. First-time customers get 20% off their first tan. Find them on Facebook at Black Tie Tans or email them at blacktitans@gmail.com to set your appointment. Going to a wedding? Going out to the club? Black Tie Tans will give you the look you need. Black Tie Tans. Tell your pale friends.
Mata Hari, Agent H-21, is a spy fiction short story anthology about the famous dancer, seductress, and spy from World War I. Mata Hari, Agent H-21, published by Pro Se Productions, has 7 rip-roaring adventure tales about the world-famous super spy that features her battling her enemies by using any weapons at her disposal. Mata Hari, Agent H-21 is available for purchase in ebook and paperback formats on Amazon.com.
Do you have a message or logo that you need the world to see? Then rely on the folks at Gretna Signworks to use their expertise to deliver your design. With over 15 years in business, Gretna Sign Works can do commercial and yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, magnetic signs, vehicle graphics and lettering, and so much more. Gretna Sign Works also has an exceptional network of suppliers, so no job is out of scope. Find Gretna Sign Works on Facebook or visit them at 2125 Belle Chase Highway today.
BarCon at the Bad Wolf Bar and Grill in Gretna is happening on Saturday, October 20th, starting at 11:30 a.m. for all ages. General admission is only $5 and VIP passes are available for $10. BarCon will have vendors, artists, panels, a cosplay contest, gaming competitions, and live entertainment. Closing out BarCon that night will be a breathtaking fire show by Nanette Blake and the anime music stylings of Suzaku 7. Find out more information on BarCon at badwolfbar.com.
Now, back to the Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO with David D. Squared and Brian Held. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Yeah, you'll definitely want to tell your enemies.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek. Now, as always, we want to strongly urge you to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/The Week in Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twigradio and the Instagram's The Week in Geek. Now, Brian, how can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show or you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, and at WRNO.com.
Alrighty then. Brian, we got to play a game.
Yeah, well, first off, real quick, Skungy's stuck in a haunted house, and I need to mention this. This is very sad, actually. A former guest of the show, Scott Wilson from The Walking Dead, just passed away from cancer.
That sucks.
Yes, he was 76, I believe, and thanks to Don Cooper, our staff photographer, for letting us know about this. I didn't see the article pop up. So
that blows. Way to end on a high note, Brian.
Well, it's important.
We got to meet him twice, too. He was a really awesome dude. He came here in studio. We got to meet him in Dallas. He was a great guy, man.
Yep, he was. So.
All right.
So yes, we received an advance copy of the Movie Misquote Game from Lawrence King Publishing. And it actually came out on the 2nd of October. We missed it last week.
We did.
But, so yes, it's actually a really cool game. It comes in this case that looks like a VHS tape.
Right.
And it plays exactly like Cards Against Humanity. So if you're familiar with that game.
Right.
Except it's all movie quotes. So
like a Royale with cheese?
Yeah, kind of like that. So you have these orange cards, which are the clue, and then everybody has these cream-colored cards where they fill it in.
All right.
And so, like, I'll give you an example, and you get to fill it in, is, frankly, my blank, I don't give a damn.
Frankly, my smelly pirate hooker, I don't give a damn. That was from Anchorman.
It was from Anchorman?
Yeah.
And, of course...
Matt Damon!
Right. So here's another one, Dave. Here's looking at you, blank.
Golf ball through a garden hose.
Where's that from?
That's from Full Metal Jacket.
Okay.
Sweater Monkeys. I don't even know. What movie is that? Sparky Palestri. Oh, Bring It On. Oh, my God. Bring It On.
Yeah. No, there's all kind of great movies in here. And, of course, you can just play the game if you want to read the full quotes and have folks guess what movie they're talking about.
Yes, this is great. I love this. Oh, I can't say this on the air. Dang it. Oh, well.
There is a lot of stuff in this game.
It was the first curse word I ever heard, and it was in E.T. when he calls his brother something breath.
Oh, right.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That was my first curse word ever.
Oh, jeez. Oh, hey.
Awesome. All right, so where do we get this game, Brian?
Well, you can go to lawrenceking.com and check out this game. It's the Movie Misquote Game, and I'm sure it's going to be at places like Barnes & Noble and, of course, Amazon and things like that. But I think it's really cool. Definitely looks like a lot of fun, and if you're a huge fan of Cards Against Humanity, you're going to love this game.
This is absolutely a con drinking game.
Yes.
Oh, blank me gently with a chainsaw. Oh, yes, Heathers.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you.
I just want to read the quotes now. This is good stuff.
Yeah, I know. So,
all right, man. So what do we got going on next week?
So next week, you and I will be at Gulf Coast Fan Fest at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum.
Score.
And that's Saturday and Sunday, the 13th and 14th. And let me tell you what, there's a lot of great guests that are going to be there. Jason Mewes is going to be there on Sunday. Ray Park, Darth Maul, is going to be there. Peter Davidson, I believe the sixth Doctor. Is he the? I think he's the sixth.
You know better than me.
Seth Gilliam from The Walking Dead.
Is it Sam J. Jones? Seth Gilliam was also in Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
You want some? Come get some!
Yeah. Sam J. Jones will be there. Denise Crosby, Kevin Sorbo, Dirk Benedict will be there. So lots.
Dirk Diggler?
Yeah, jeez. Lots of great guests.
Denise Crosby, Lieutenant Tasha Yar.
Yeah. She was also in that Trekkies documentary.
That's right. Yeah.
I love that.
Wow. All right. So for more information, where do they get it? I think you should go to our Facebook page.
They could. Or GulfCoastFanFest.com.
There you go. All right, Brian. I had a great vacation, but now I have to look at your face again. Oh,
yes.
Well. Back to the rut.
Right.
Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.
Your new home for Walton and Johnson. News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM, New Orleans, an iHeart radio station.